This is called Aztec Support. In 1908, Mahatma Gandhi had a busy year, craftily inventing the atomic bomb, the tweezer, and fly fishing. And all because I lost my history book. Look, I don't know what to say, so please don't get offended if reality gets a little bent the way I speak instead of sing in the shower. Listen, in 1785, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart sat upon the zenith of his power, quill in hand, and composed his string quartet number 18 in A major. 218 years later, 50 Cent spent 3 minutes and 13 seconds herding English with a big club, and now I have a headache. This pig I will take a kava shake with a moment of realization to go with a hypodermic needle full of Kool-Aid and holistic medicine. Listen, in 1879, Thomas Alva Edison filed his patent for an electric lamp, providing a way for Americans to finally see what the hell their dates look like. And wouldn't you know it, 128 years later, parents are letting their little brats fly around on those Heeley shoes and crash into me at the supermarket, causing me almost to fall. And when I say, be careful to these children, these parents bark at me like pit bulls on public assistance. It's like some frightening dream shopping. It's like some frightening dream living. Listen, it was in 1881 when Alexander Graham Bell invented the metal detector, unpaving the way for beach enthusiasts across the world to find daggers in the holiday dunes for spare change. Coincidentally, it was in 1985 when I first detected heavy metal and learned to make my first devil sign at Mr. Door's back in shop class. These are the miracles the great inventors descend upon us. I must have had too much wine in the sauna, though, because I dreamed and knew intelligent interior design in my head. Because listen. In 1915, Albert Einstein, already famous for his series of cookbooks, published for the first time his theory of evolution, which stated that we all didn't come from the Bible. And I know I'm as liable to human error as the next guy, but what about the next guy after him? How would you like it if somebody gave you $100? Listen, in the 23rd century, Robert Fulton went back in forwards time, just in time to meet himself inventing the steamboat in my high school American history. In 1858, Ezra Warner invented the can opener and then suddenly turned into me when I imagine that right now. But I can do better than Ezra. I know better than that. Listen, in 0-100 in no time never, a thought that could have easily been mistaken for God burped and then burst into the universe. And then Bill Gates stood on a pyramid of iPods and made infinity proprietary. And this was a huge hassle for Aztec Support because, listen, in 1900 and when we met, you invented a happiness I'd never seen before. And I had to laugh at Isaac Newton for inventing basketball and yoga. Listen, when I was born, I invented the sound of myself crying. And when I think of you and I and what we had and what I did, I find I'm just as good at tears now as I was back then. Listen, in the next 10 minutes, all I'm asking is somebody please invent some words I can hear and know that I've been living for a reason. Please. Thank you. All right, everybody stand up. No, just kidding. This is a short poem, I'm really, really fond of it, by a poet named James Tate, who is, I think, still on faculty at UMass Amherst. He's an important poet to me, and this is called The Camel. I received the strangest thing in the mail today. It's a photograph of me riding a camel in the desert. And yet I have never ridden a camel or even been in a desert. I am wearing a jalaba, a kafiyah, and I'm waving a rifle. I have examined the photo with a magnifying glass, and it is definitely me. I can't stop looking at the photo. I have never dreamed of riding a camel in the desert. The ferocity in my eyes suggests I am fighting some kind of holy war, that I have no fear of death. I must hide this photo from my wife and children. They must not know who I really am. I must not know. I met him once. He was a nice guy. Okay, this is brand new. New poetry. Oh my God, it worked. I didn't think anyone was going to do that. I launched Chrome from my desktop. Google is my homepage. We're going to a party tonight, and we're supposed to bring a salad. So I'm searching for unique ways to make or change up a Caesar salad for at least 6. And Google asks me upon my first inquiry, "Did you mean Julius Caesar?" No, Google. I didn't mean Julius Caesar. I'd have asked you about Julius Caesar if I wanted to know about Julius Caesar. Et tu, Google? Google is convenient, though. Like opportune rain or that phone call on your cell that can free you from a face-to-face conversation you're looking not to have with that person you were hoping not to run into. But the fact that we have all just passively accepted the existence and proliferation of artificial intelligence means, of course, that we have had to trade off some of our sense of normality for the ability to go online and look for the things we may or may not want to find. I'm scared. And I'm not afraid to say so. I'm scared because every time I search for something on Google, the first results are not really results, but more and more questions. Did you mean Marcus Aurelius? Did you mean typhoid fever? Did you know that someone is skulking around in your backyard even as we speak? Did you mean to look as frightened as you look right now? People who chose to feel the same fear that you are feeling in this moment also chose to feel panic, anxiety, and terror. Every day I find some brand new proof for the non-existence of God, some kidnapped girls locked in a basement for 40 years. Legislation that makes friendly fire not only legal but mandatory. Dance crazes that sweep the nation under a wave of stupidity. But every day when I sit down at my computer at work, it's all, yeah, well, people who chose to doubt the existence of God also chose to go golfing, also chose a vegan diet, also chose to go on a killing spree. People who chose to feel weird about the thought that there is something greater than us, somewhere out there in the moonless stars, up among those barely audible stars, also chose to let themselves feel depressed once in a while. Some people also chose to fear their mirror. Some people also chose to just feel. I wanted to find out about the X-Men, but I didn't want to find out about X-rated men. Or maybe I did, but I didn't know it, but Google did, and isn't that interesting? I wanted to find out more about X-rated women, but I didn't want to find out about my exes and what their lives have turned into, and isn't that a shame? I wanted to find out more about the day that I am going to die. So I made a deal with myself. Every day, I would go on to Google to ask it if I would ever see my mother and father again. If religion and faith were really worth it, and not just nonsense. And I would check back every day to see if Google would answer me in a different way. I typed, "I'm scared," into the search field. Did you mean to ask, why are we here? Did you mean God? Or were you looking for something else? Did you mean to be crying right now? Thank you so much. I'm going to wrap up with one last poem, and this is raise your hand if you like dessert. Raise your hand if you like dessert first. This is the blueberry pie you were born to eat. The blueberry pie that knew you as a child when it was just a blueberry pie child itself. Do you remember? Do you remember the songs? You and this blueberry pie once ran together as children through sepia wheat fields, getting freckles at the same age, all the magic of youngness long gone now. There's a Don Henley song about it playing somewhere. Oh God, this blueberry pie, like 10,000 souls on a silvery bone boat rolling over the moonlit sea monster waves of earth primordial, it has been waiting for you here, under this glass counter, for 32 years. And now this pie is looking up at you, locking eyes with you. It is making little snorting noises in your direction. On the shiny aluminum platter under the glass, the blueberry pie is vibrating, twitching, pulsing and glowing as it watches you, tracks your every move. Drop your bags! Get on your knees and press your hands to the glass. Do not make kissy faces at the pie unless you mean to bury your face in it. Put them on the glass! These emotions you have about pie, be free enough to cry if you want to. This pastry is now your mate. Finally, your loved one. Finally, the one who could be your only. Finally, your pie, this blueberry pie that will understand you. And maybe, if fortune allows, give you children. Polite blue children with graham cracker eyes. Grind your open mouth against the glass food enclosure. Get in the way of the other customers in line. Make them walk around the growling spectacle of you. The blueberry pie is showing you its cleavage. It is leaning down to pick up a napkin lewdly, knowing full well you're taking in the sight of its surreptitious breasts. This blueberry pie somehow already has your phone number and already knows the special way to bring you your private bliss. Stare hard at the blueberry pie. Make it know that you know it's been watching you. Bump and grind in the lunch hour. Pay no mind to the other customers. Let the world slip away. The other people here don't know about pie. Pie! To hell with them in their indecipherable, crazy, non-pie-wanting ways. Tear open your shirt and ganache your raptured teeth in the diner. Wail at a religious volume. Make a scene with your flaky crust. You have found your dessert, and you are justified. Just a half-inch pane of glass between you and what you must have. Between you and the end of the only pain in your heart. Your indigo heart that used to be strong, sangria. Covered in a lovely purple goop now. Your heart, because of this. Thank you so much.